Are your lack of emotional boundaries literally ruining your life?
Welcome back to Cinder and Salt. I am KristySturdivant,
And I'm Candace Bethel.
and we are diving into emotional boundaries. Do you have them? Don't you have them? Do you think you need them? Maybe it's all of the above.
Probably all of the above.
Probably. I think we can all do a little bit better with our boundaries. I think that there's like several areas in our lives where we have different boundaries, right? Like maybe you have really good emotional boundaries with your family, but they suck at work, or
Oh,
vice versa. So let's talk about it. Let's uncover it.
yeah. I do think that, that most of us have really good emotional boundaries somewhere. So we can see it in little pieces and snippets in our life. But like other places, we just let it walk all over us because we don't feel safe or we don't know how to stand up for ourselves in that environment. And it really brings a lot of self-destruction to our body. And it's truly where a lot of anger comes from.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like I this is very triggering for me. This is a very, very, eggshelly topic for me to touch on because I know in one area of my life, I have pretty firm emotional boundaries. It's taken me a long time to build them up, but in another area of my life, I had such terrible emotional boundaries that I physically broke myself to
Oh,
where, like, I had to, like, take myself out of the situation completely. Now, I do think that's part of, like, some of my channels. I do have, my north and south node in that channel of community, so boundaries and contracts and, like, equality and bargaining and everything is very important to me personally, and so if I don't have good emotional boundaries, terrible. No good.
and my boundaries where I know that I'm the worst is with my partner and with clients that I feel really emotionally tied to. Those are where my boundaries, like, because I know I can help a lot of people. I have definitely helped a lot of people, and I'm also here to hold space for my partners, so I oftentimes don't set my boundaries where I need to, but I also do feel like in the last few weeks my voice has come on and my boundaries have come on, so that could be interesting for the people around me.
I think it's good. They might not enjoy
Oh,
it, and I think
it's good for
that's
all
when
of us. It'll be a
it
rough
is.
ride.
It's a rough ride, and I think that that is, like, the biggest hiccup of emotional boundaries, right? Is because we don't set them because we are already in this pattern, and we don't want to ostracize people that we love or like, or we want to continue people pleasing them, and we don't want to hurt them, hurt their emotions or anything. We don't wanna hurt feelings, right? And so we get caught in these sticky situations, and we don't know or feel comfortable putting up our boundaries. So let's just break it down.
Well, why don't we do that? Because we're scared. Like, it's a fear. Like, period. Wherever that's where somewhere in your past that when you put up a boundary there, it didn't work. And so you learn how to create safety in your life, whatever safety, and I do mean quote unquote, because if you aren't putting your boundaries up or you feel any pain in your body's saying that something's not safe. But when we are, you know, allowing people to walk over us, it's something often we watched our parents do, or it's something that we've tried to put a boundary up, and even maybe with those people. And when we did that, we got a lot of backlash because we basically co created whatever relationship we're in. And and they're used to whoever your normal behavior. And when you're like, I'm so tired of this, here's my boundary, they're like, wait, what? And it can become an argument. It can feel like you're violating them. It can feel like you're attacking them, not because you are, basically because you're like, I'm not going to let you take my power away anymore. And that can be very triggering to others.
It's a very uncomfortable thing. All of us wanna stay in our comfort and safety zones, but we also kinda wanna grow. And if we wanna grow in the way we're supposed to grow, then we have to protect our power, we have to protect our energy, and we have to put up those boundaries no matter how, disgusting and gnarly it might feel at the time, because it's the only way to move forward, and it's the only way to co-create the life that you want to co-create, because otherwise you just can't do it. You can't grow if you don't, like, put your nice little fence up around yourself to protect your vibrations.
It's true. And growth is not easy. And growth is scary. And it also looks really messy and it can look really gross. And it can look like, well, a fucking hot mess when you're going through it, to be perfectly honest. But it's worth it. It is so worth it on the other side because you can't get to that peaceful place without the growth. And and when we feel darkness, when we feel like that, like if we've been feeling low for a really long time, please believe that that low also has that same level of high. So you need to know if you can go dark and deep and get in a really depressive state, you can also go really, really high and feel really, really good. You just have only been sprinkled on with that, and maybe you haven't even been able to feel it. We live in a really dense world, but your vibration can get really high and feel really good. And it doesn't take that long to do. It's a habit, like building a new muscle.
Ooh, it's a painful muscle sometimes, though.
Oh,
Nobody
building
wants
muscles
to.
is painful.
It's physically painful, okay, but putting up boundaries that have been completely non-existent for days, years, decades can feel insurmountable. But those are the
Mhm.
ones that are the most important to begin building boundaries around, breaking down that I don't wanna say relationship. I don't wanna say you break down your relationship, but sometimes that's what has to happen in order for not
Relationship
just
with
yourself to
self.
grow.
You
Yes.
are breaking down your relationship with yourself. Like, for me, like, when I know I'm putting up a hard boundary, I literally feel it from my emotions, like, my emotional center down here in my solar plexus, up into my collarbone, and sometimes into my throat, and it literally wraps in this, like it almost feels like it's barbed wire that's, like, constricting me, and I have to do work, like, I'll tap, I'll breathe, I'll do somatic work, I'll do yoga, like, I know that I'm not meant to have this constriction in my body, so I move through it, but if you don't know that's a when you put up a boundary that happens, then it's really not gonna feel good, and it's gonna be hard to move through it.
That's interesting, that's interesting.
Mhm.
I think that, if you don't have boundaries, they will definitely manifest in your body. I know that, like, when I was growing up and all through probably through my early 20s and everything, I had very consistent sinus infections, ear infections, um, sore throats, and everything. But once I started putting up boundaries and started, like, speaking my voice, because all of my conditioning was around my voice and staying quiet and conforming. And once I started putting up those boundaries, no more issues. I haven't had a sinus infection, even though I was literally plagued with them through high school, early college, early 20s. Like, I would get them at least 2, 3, maybe 4 times a year. I haven't had one in over a decade, maybe 2, because I have boundaries, and I'm like, "Mm-mm, nope." And it took a long time to do that, but I'm sinus infection free.
And so worth it. And
Mhm.
I also, I was born without a piece of my spine. Anybody who knows what transverse processes are, I was born without one of my transverse processes in L5. I have pretty severe scoliosis, but I've been an athlete my entire life. And I've also been in a lot of pain most of my life. And I'm now in my 40s and I no longer have any of that pain that I was told that came from the scoliosis. And I've also never had any surgery on it because I've just worked through my body like ever since I was a child. And now I truly do understand why my pain shows up, where it comes from, and when it came in. So we have like our body gives us so many signals. Like I used to have debilitating back pain and right shoulder pain where my neck would just like I couldn't move. Like that's my freedom and love and the masculine energy, how we love ourselves. And then my hips were my safety in my body. And I had a lot of sexual abuse. And so when you have a lot of sexual abuse, your body does not feel safe. But I can tell you that doing somatic work and moving through that is the most beautiful thing that you can do for your mind and your body because it truly does move pain and illness out.
Whew. I didn't think that we were going to be going into how lack of emotional boundaries manifests itself physically. But I do think that if you do have any kind of chronic pain or anything, it's very important to look at what you are holding on to, where you are being blocked, where you are not putting up your boundaries, because it can be so enlightening.
Yeah, and for anybody that wants to go deeper here, this is exactly what my work does. I can read your energy. I can see where it comes from. I can help bring it up and then we clear it. We do not need to talk about it. We do not need to loop around it. We need to move it somatically through the body.
Yes, something I wish I would have known years ago, because I did have a stint there where I had all kinds of physical issues that I don't really have anymore, but it was all figuring out what my boundaries were and putting up those boundaries that felt right for me. And it was very painful because I lost a lot of people in my life. And
Mm.
that is terrible. It's terrible to lose people in your life. And it causes a lot of deep emotional and psychological issues that you can have. But if you don't put up those boundaries, it can be so much worse. So you really need to do what you can for yourself. When you start taking care of yourself and you start taking care of your own emotions, everything trickles out from that. And it helps other people too, because they realize that they can put up emotional boundaries and they realize that they don't have to tolerate the things that they might have been tolerating, and that it just empowers all of us.
Even those people that leave your life, it empowers them in ways that you'll probably never know. Because this journey can be lonely sometimes, but it's only lonely temporarily. It literally extracts the people out of your life that were not meant to be there. And then the people that were meant to be there, your soul fractal, those people start coming in, and life really does just get easier. No, that sounds like silly
Sounds like
or
bullshit. That's
it
what it
does
sounds
kinda
like.
sound I know, I know. 10-year ago me would have looked at me right now and, like, walked the fuck away from me, literally turned around and be like, "This bitch is crazy," and walk the fuck away from me. I understand that this stuff that we're talking about can sound crazy to people, but this is my life work. Literally, this is my life's work, and I know it works.
I know. If someone would have told me 10 years ago that I would be doing this, what I'm doing, and having conversations like this, I'd say,
Mhm,
sure,
mhm,
sounds
like,
great.
mhm, mhm.
Move along, psycho. But no, I mean, I'm a completely different person, and I feel so much better and I feel so much more myself, more than I ever have in my whole entire life. I am so
Yeah.
much more confident in who I am and what I am here to do, and it feels amazing. There's just no
Yeah.
other feeling than being so sure of who you are and knowing that you have the exact right people in your life right now. It, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, it makes you feel alive. And
Mhm.
I remember not feeling alive, and I feel alive and so grateful to be alive for this life every day, even though maybe every day doesn't feel super amazing. I'm grateful for all the lessons that come in because without them, I would not be where I am now.
Yeah. It makes it a more fun journey to ride on, which is what
Mhm.
we want. Which is
Yeah.
not the direction I thought that this episode was gonna take, but emotional boundaries, I mean, it can domino out in so many different ways that you don't even realize it just by telling someone, "No, that does not satisfy me. I don't think
Mhm.
I wanna do that." Oh my gosh, it's so hard. I still have a hard time saying no sometimes in certain areas of my life, and I overthink it, but if I would just do it, I probably feel like 1,000 times better than I do now, and I feel pretty dang good right now.
Yeah, so pay attention. Next time you want to say no and you decide to say yes, see how your body feels, see how your energy feels. I bet you feel drained, maybe bitter, maybe a little angry and frustrated that you're like, I'm doing this because you violated your boundaries, period.
If only I could have that clarity in the moment like a sacral authority. That
Oh,
comes like 3 days later sometimes.
well, just because we have that clarity in the moment doesn't mean we always listen to it. So
Mm, I
I'm
guess that
also
makes me feel
still
better.
learning.
Okay, so emotional boundaries. Let us know where you're having issues because I think that sometimes it's a lot easier to have someone else reflect these things back to you. It's really easy to say, I want to put up boundaries and then pull it back into where you make yourself out to be the bad guy. Like, oh, I'm such a terrible person for doing this. And I really think I should do this and I really should want to do this. But am I going to be changing too much for them? Am I going to lose people in my life? Am I going to be alone? Is it going to be awful? Am I destined for solitude? It's not like that. It's really not like that. It feels like that sometimes, but it's not like that. So if you need someone to reflect it back to you in a different way, look for that. We're here. We would be happy to do that for you. Right, Candace?
Yeah, ask us any questions that you might have. Happy to respond.
Absolutely. And so emotional boundaries. 2 thumbs up. Do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel
Yay
so
for
much better.
boundaries.
Okay, and that is all. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.